I'm Judy Zelina. This is the Millcreek Government Channel. The Sight Center's mission is to prevent blindness and promote independence for those with vision loss. Lately, we've been hearing a lot about the Sight Center's diabetes prevention efforts, which I think are so impactful and couldn't be more necessary. What I don't think people know about them is how their organization supports hundreds of people on a day-to-day basis as they strive to remain living independently despite their failing vision. Let's talk about vision loss in our community and why it continues to be a growing concern. Today we welcome Shannon Wolford from the Sight Center of Northwest Pennsylvania to tell us more about how their organization is making a difference in our community. Thank you so much for joining us on this show.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be
And
here.
Shannon, I did want to let our viewers know you are the Associate Director of Development and Marketing with the Sight Center.
That is correct.
So
Yes.
that's got to be a fun, interesting job.
Absolutely. It's different every day. That's why I love it. We have a lot going on at the Sight Center. You know, I've been there about 2 years now and still learning. So hopefully I'll be able to answer all your questions today.
Oh, I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
But we do a lot, and I'm just happy to be here to share our mission with people.
Good. And I do want to help get the word out too.
Great. Thank you.
First off, Shannon, let's jump right in and let our viewers know what types of services does the Sight Center provide?
Absolutely, absolutely. I like to tell people when you think about the Sight Center to think about us in 3 buckets of service. So really our foundational programs, prevention of blindness services is where I'm going to begin. Those are that's the area where we can have the most impact in regards to numbers of people served. So prevention services really have kind of 2 sides of that program. It starts with our preventive vision screenings. So the Sight Center is the organization that goes into daycares, preschools. We're involved in a lot of the kindergarten registrations that take place throughout our region. So let me back up and say that the Sight Center not only is in Erie County, but we service Warren, Jefferson, Elk, Potter, McKean, and Cameron County as well. So we have vision screeners in those counties. So these are folks that are going into the classrooms and doing a vision screening on each and every student. Again, those are young children. We're in the preschool, kindergarten registrations, and daycares, because once the child is in school, the school district is responsible for doing the vision screenings.
All right.
In the past, we have gone into schools and worked with students who were difficult to screen. So maybe those kids who have English as a second language, and the nurse just can't get them through in a quickly or timely fashion. They might have the Sight Center come in and screen certain populations of kids, and we've done that over the years. But why that preventive vision screening is so critical is because there is a correlation to children in the classroom who are struggling to learn, struggling to read. Oftentimes, there's an underlying vision issue. So if we can get in there early and detect that, we can help those kids get the help that they need. It might be just a pair of glasses, but it could be patching or surgery, and we've run into all of those situations. So what we do is we go in and do the screening. We determine, did they pass, fail, do they need additional follow-up? And we help to get that referral in place. We do some follow-up with them to make sure they actually followed up and went to the eye doctor. And then is there an issue? Do they need assistance with glasses or assistance with some type of medical care for their eyes and vision? But once we kind of get over that initial hurdle, we can help to eliminate a barrier for their educational success in the classroom.
Well, that is absolutely wonderful. I guess I
Yes.
didn't realize that. When I'm thinking, for some reason, yes, you would have to catch it when it's early,
Well,
in
right,
children.
sure.
But when I think of it, I'm thinking that you are working with people with diabetes and older
Right,
people, but there's so
right.
many children that
Oh,
have this
absolutely. And like I
problem,
said, the vision screening is
Right.
one of the ways that we're out there in the community reaching the most individuals. I mean, we screen over 8,000 kids a year.
Oh, wow.
And that's a free service. We get paid through a state contract that we've had in place for over 40 years. But let me just mention that state contract has not changed dollar for dollar. So the same amount that we received from the state 40 years ago is the same amount that we receive today. So as you can imagine, we're doing more with a little bit less. But we'll get into that in a little bit as far as one of our challenges.
Now, first off, how does someone get connected to your services? I mean, do they need a doctor's referral?
Well, let me go back and let's go back to the prevention services. So for the vision screening part of things, when we talk about children, we're scheduling those, we're taking care of all of that. You know, it's not like a child's going to call us and say, I need a vision screening. We take care of all of that. The other part of that program, though, and you touched on diabetes, is our diabetes prevention program. So again, diabetes, we know, is one of the leading causes of blindness in working age adults. And so when Erie County Diabetes Association closed their doors, we were able to carry on that program for the community. It is a much needed service. It is an evidence-based program that is run through the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. It is a 12-month curriculum, and it has been proven to delay the onset of type 2 diabetes more than any other treatment, including metformin.
Okay.
So we know that it works. We have graduated over 60 people already in a year, and we're seeing very significant positive results. We have to send our data to the CDC on a regular basis.
Okay.
I mean, we're seeing people come in losing weight, exercising more, making very significant lifestyle changes, and in the end, that's going to protect their future vision, because we know, again, diabetes has that correlation to vision loss.
Right.
So when we talk about how people would get connected to that particular service, they can just call the Sight Center, and then many insurance companies now offer that as a benefit to their members. So depending on what insurance you have, it might be something that is completely covered. There might be a small payment out of pocket. Most of them, there is no payment out of pocket. But then the second bucket of service that we offer is vision rehabilitation. I think that is when people think of the Sight Center, they remember us when we were on Cherry Street. We were the Blind Center.
Yes.
You know, that's kind of that traditional program where we are working with people who are losing vision. So you've been seeing your eye doctor, you have macular degeneration, it's progressing, and you come to us because we can be with you for the duration of that journey of vision loss. So our whole goal with that program is to help people stay living as independently. We want to continue with their quality of life. So if someone says, hey, I want to be able to watch TV, I want to read the newspaper, I love to read books, I want to see pictures of my grandchildren, but they're struggling to see, we can help them with a variety of devices. Everything from a simple handheld magnifier up to a CCTV. We have an occupational therapist on staff, and she can work with people to develop the skills and the strategies to apply at home. So if someone wants to continue to cook and prepare meals on their own, we can help them to do that. So, you know, a lot of people, I think our biggest challenge when we are working with that population, first and foremost, is there is almost a process that someone goes through when they've been told they're losing their vision. You have to come to a point of acceptance with that. We are there to help and support you through that. But it's a difficult hurdle to overcome in the beginning. I think people feel very closed off and frightened and scared of how their life is going to change. We, on the other hand, understand that it's going to change, but it could actually improve. I mean, we can make your life as much as it was before your vision loss as after. There's a lot of support and resources available to individuals, and I don't think people realize that. So I think that kind of brings on that fear, and they're just not understanding what options they might have. So when people come in for a low vision evaluation, we run a weekly clinic. They come in, and I think they come in a little bit defeated already, like, I'm not really sure what you're going to be able to do for me.
Right.
But they quickly find out through that hour and a half with our staff, oh my goodness, I didn't know that was even an option for me. I didn't know I could take advantage of that. I didn't know you offer transportation services. So kind of the world begins to open up again for someone with vision loss, and that's really what we want to have happen. So that is vision rehabilitation. In addition to the low vision clinic, we run a children's program. So we do things like a sports camp in the summer. We're gearing up for a ski program this winter that we've done for a couple years.
Yes.
And we do those things because we understand that for a child who is visually impaired, sports and recreational activities often don't come naturally. They don't seek out those experiences. So the sports camp is really an opportunity for us to expose those children to a wide variety of activities that they could then carry on in their own life, whether it be through their own school or with their own family out in the community. And that's really why the ski program is so critical, because cross-country skiing is something that once you learn and you know how to do it, especially living here in Erie, you have a lot of opportunities to take advantage of that. And we want kids to have those lifelong recreational hobbies. We want them to be fit, to be doing things with their same age peers, and skiing is one of those things that we can introduce them to and develop some skills for them. So we have worked with Wilderness Lodge in the past, and we're exploring some other things to do in the winter with the kids, and that's right around the corner, so we're looking forward to that. And then the last bucket of service that we provide at the Sight Center is specialized support services. So that's kind of all of those additional supports that we have available to people. So once someone loses their license, they can no longer drive because of their vision loss, we offer transportation services. And a lot of people don't know that we do that. And that, for many people, is a lifesaver. It is a lifeline to the community. We want people to stay actively involved in the community, to be able to participate, but when that license is taken away, that hurts. We can soften that blow by saying, hey, maybe you can't drive, but we'll get you there. So we have a fleet of vehicles. We have several drivers here in Erie County and several out in all of our rural areas. And we transport people. We call it door-through-door escorted transportation.
All right.
And we call it that because anyone can pick up the phone and call for an Uber. An Uber is going to come and get you. And we think it's a wonderful service, and some of our clients utilize that. But it is difficult, especially for an older individual who has vision loss. They need a little bit more. So our driver can actually come into the home, maybe help get a coat on. If they're taking things to a doctor's appointment, we can help them with that. When we arrive at the appointment, we can help get them checked in. If there's paperwork that needs to be completed, we can assist with that. So there's a lot of kind of extra things that fall into that escorted transportation that makes our program a little bit more unique than most.
Is it just local? Like, in other words, what if someone has surgery or an appointment in Pittsburgh or Cleveland or something?
We do a lot of that.
Do you?
We do a lot of that, yes.
I didn't know if it was just like to a local doctor's appointment.
We absolutely all local, but we recently, for an example, we had a gentleman who had a detached retina and required emergency surgery, and his local eye doctor made the referral to a specialist in Pittsburgh. It needed to be taken care of, you know, ASAP, so we were able to get the appointment. We were able to get him to Pittsburgh. And a lot of folks who don't have family in the area or don't have friends that they can rely on for those services really need this program. I mean, if it weren't for us, they would be having to call an Uber. And who's going to drive into Pittsburgh and wait around while they're in surgery and get them home and many times take them right back the next day for the follow-up visit. So we do a lot of that.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Yeah, and the local transportation is to eye doctor appointments and medical appointments. We do grocery shopping, so we have some clients that say, hey, you know, I still like to get out and go to the store. I just need a little help. I can't maneuver the aisles of the store. I can't see all the packaging, but I've got my list here. I just need a little assistance. And we love those opportunities. You know, we'll send the driver and they'll go in and help them do their grocery shopping, and then we'll drive them home. And then we help you get the groceries in and put them away, which is wonderful. And especially in the bad weather.
Why don't you come home with me and put my groceries away?
But it is a great help.
It is. What other personal services do you provide?
Well, we do some mail reading and bill paying and light household chore services. So when you think about someone who can no longer see to be able to write out their bills or to read their incoming mail, those our staff that as our drivers primarily are doing those jobs as well. So they'll go into the home and sit down with someone once a week and say, hey, let's just check on your finances, see where you are, see if anything's coming due. Let's read through your stack of mail. Oh, you want to write a letter to a grandchild? Let me help you do that.
Great service.
So, we take so many of those small things for granted, but we hear from our clients all the time that these are things that they cherish. A lot of the people that we serve, and I don't want anyone to ever think we're not serving young people. We have our children's program and even our vision rehabilitation program. We are seeing people younger and younger. So I often talk about our elderly population, but we get a lot of wonderful stories from them. But they share with us how our staff often become like an extension of their family. These are people that we've had a relationship with. They trust us to come into their home. And they love just hearing from us and having someone come to the home to do the mail reading. When you think about just friendly visitation, stopping in on someone who is visually impaired, many times they're not out and about like you and I.
Right.
They're not social out in the community because that takes a little more effort to schedule and plan and get a ride and know where you're going, and it's a little more work.
Right.
So to have someone come into the home and just sit back and read the mail and maybe have a cup of coffee with you.
It's those little things.
It's those little things that mean so much, and it's what makes our job so wonderful.
And that's what I love about your organization, because since I first really started learning more of what you're doing,
Right.
I have been able to actually see that you put all of you put a personal touch on it.
Right.
Your heart
I
and
would
soul.
have
You
to
love
agree.
what you do, and it comes through. It does.
It really does. And Linda, and I'm sorry that she couldn't be with us today. She's a little under the weather. But when we go out as a team in the community, any of our staff, we hear that time and time again.
Yes.
So I think it must show. It really
does.
must show
It does.
that we love what we do. We really love our mission. I said that I've only been there about 2 years, and when I first started at the Sight Center, my office was in an open air space, and we could hear everyone coming in the door and kind of what they were stopping in for. And at first you would think, well, that would be a little bit of a distraction, but it actually was a great learning experience because I was understanding what the needs were and how people relied on us and what they were coming in for. So that kind of helped me understand that culture, and I think that our staff are so caring, and we really love what we do. We really do.
How many people do you serve in a year?
Well, including those vision screenings, which is over
Right.
8,000, it's over 10,000, because we get close to 400 coming through our clinic in a year. We have the weekly clinic. We see about 6 patients a day in that clinic. So yeah, probably 10,000, a little over 10,000.
We were talking the vision loss is on the rise. Why do you think that is, Shannon?
Well, when you look at our community, 2 things kind of come to mind. One is here in Erie, we have an aging population.
Yes, we do.
And we have an increased incidence of health conditions like diabetes that impact vision.
Okay.
So with those 2 factors, we are seeing more and more vision loss. It is, as we age, kind of a natural part of getting older. But there's a lot of things that people can do to protect their vision and care for their vision.
Like what?
Like, first of all, it's all about your lifestyle. So smoking is a big no-no. So if you're smoking, stop smoking. Taking care of yourself, just your overall health. The old adage when your grandmother or mother said, eat your carrots, they're good for your eyes. Well, that's very factual. So eating healthy foods,
Okay.
Eating your carrots and eating the dark green vegetables, very good for your eyes. And just caring for yourself. So the better overall health you are in, the better health you'll have for your eyes long term.
Okay, I know you're a nonprofit. What are some of the obstacles you face as a nonprofit?
Well, I think the most obvious, probably for a lot of nonprofits, is funding.
Funding.
We lost some of our traditional funding within the past year, and I mentioned the state contract that has not changed dollar for dollar in more than 40 years. The need is going up, and sometimes those the funding is going down. So that's my job, and we try to kind of fill the gap there. And we do that with grants and special events, and we do some annual fundraising. But that certainly is a challenge, although I think the Site Center has done a wonderful job of looking to the future and being very proactive in making sure that our organization is going to be here and be strong and well for another 80 years, because we just celebrated our 80th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So we have a very detailed sustainability plan in place right now that we are working hard. And it's exciting to see that there are opportunities for organizations who, we've been here for so long, kind of breathe new life into what we do to maintain that mission moving forward. So, we're looking at things like maximizing reimbursable services and looking at programs and how can we build additional services there. The diabetes prevention program, is a win-win for us. We're doing amazing things for people, changing lives. We received an email not long ago from a gentleman who was in the program, has lost a substantial amount of weight, and his whole life has changed because of that weight loss. And when you hear it kind of from that end, you're like, wow, this is something else. And that also can be a reimbursable service for us as an organization. So we have to look at those things and be very aware of balancing our mission and margin.
And what are some of the annual fundraisers that you have that we could look forward to?
Well, we have something really fun coming up in February. It's our Margaritaville event. It's our second annual.
All right.
We love it because it's in February, and we think by then people are just like, we are so over this snow.
We're looking for fun.
We want something fun to do. And so this is an event that we have this year. It's on Friday, February 22nd. Which is National Margarita Day. So it's going to be, I mean, that's just enough said right there. But the event is at Rainbow Gardens this year, and it is an opportunity really for our organization to get out in front of a much broader audience. We have this kind of tagline we've been using lately, and it's know us before you need us. Right. We really want, and this is an opportunity right here to be talking with you today and sharing our mission, because that's really what we want to do. We want more people to know who we are and what we do, so when they find themselves or a loved one in the situation where they are experiencing vision changes, they know who to call.
Exactly.
And we want them to kind of connect the dots with that. So this event, Margaritaville, Friday, February 22nd at Rainbow Gardens. All the information's on our website. Follow us on our social media, our Facebook page. We share a lot of great information through our social media channels. Good articles about all of the common eye diseases, macular degeneration, cataracts, glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy. So if you just want to know a little bit more about those, want to know more about the Site Center and what's going on, that's a great opportunity. Look on our website and get on our Facebook page.
Okay, we are getting it to the end, but I just really quick, is there a fee for any of the services?
There are some fees for service. Most insurance covers the programs that we offer.
Okay.
Transportation is like a sliding fee scale. It's very inexpensive. I don't even know what the exact amount is, but I can tell you if someone runs 3 or 4 trips in a week, $5. I mean, it's so minimal.
Right.
But we always want to serve people. We're never going to turn anyone away.
You do a wonderful job. We're getting at the end. Is there something you wanted to touch base on that we didn't get to cover? We didn't get to cover half of what we wanted to talk about. So Shannon and bring Linda next time too.
Absolutely, we will come back. But I would just encourage anyone, if you have a concern, you have a question, do not hesitate to contact the Site Center. You can call us at 455-0995. Always go on our website. That is sitecenternwpa.org. And you can find us on social media, and we'd love to connect with you.
Okay, Shannon, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And we'll do this again soon.
Okay, sounds wonderful.
Viewers, if you have any questions, please give them a call. As Shannon said, check out their social media. Got tons of information. Viewers, thank you for tuning in to the Millcreek Government Channel. Until next time, have a wonderful day.